So hi everyone, this is Jessica from the Achievement Squad, coming at you with another 100% walkthrough for the indie title Vasilis. At least that's how I think you pronounce it. Now, as this is a full walkthrough, there is a full spoiler warning in effect from this point onwards, as I will show you the game from start to finish. At the same time, I'm going to show you how to bag every achievement along the way. Now, to get to the full 1000G, you require one full playthrough and then about another kind of 10 minutes of a second playthrough afterwards, just to mop up on the final two achievements. Overall, the game is not particularly difficult. It's fairly straightforward, following a guide. It doesn't need too much of a guide, however, so I do recommend that you guys give it a shot on your own. But if you're looking for the quick win, then follow along and I will help you get to that full 1000G. It's going to take you roughly about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes to complete. And yeah, it's fairly straightforward from here. So here we go. Okay, so from point one, from the moment you click the start button, you are straight in and you get your first achievement for 50G. And this is the achievement called First Day. You're going to make your way to the right and you're going to push A on the key to pick it up. And then you're going to make your way a little bit further to the right and you'll see this crate. This is kind of giving you a bit of a basic tutorial around how to use your stuff. Pressing X will bring up your inventory and you'll be able to use an item. In a sense, we have a key which we're going to need to use to open a door in a second. Now, there are a grand total of 25 achievements for this game. They are all at 50G each. If you're on PlayStation, there's also a platinum trophy for getting all of the other trophies in the game. So in this section, you just keep walking to the right. Eventually, you'll come to this kind of brick wall and then there'll be a door that is in front of you. Press your X button and then press A shortly afterwards and you will open the door, proceeding forward into day one. Okay, so we're in the game now. Pretty much want to head to the left, and wherever you see these squiggly lines, it pretty much means there's a door that you can go through. By pressing A, you will just walk through the door. We want to keep heading to the right and we want to reach when we reach the third door, we want to push A and go into here. There's going to be two items that we want to pick up. So the first one is a cup that is on the bench just here, and right next to that is a enormous journal, which Vasilis will keep track of her engagements with individuals. Now we want to exit out via the right, and then we want to keep making our way to the right, and eventually we are going to come out into the garden, and we're going to find a dead body. So once you've established that it is not your husband, pretty much everything is okay. So head to the left and you want to exit out. And you're going to be on the main street. And in front of you, there's going to be a lady called Marfa. Right next to her, you want to grab the seeds off of the chair and then speak to Marfa that is sat on the bench. This is going to get you your second achievement of the game, which for 50G, and it's just for meeting Marfa for the first time. Now, from here, we want to make our way out of the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So where you see these arrows, this generally indicates it's an exit. Press A and you will leave into the area. From here, you want to make your way to the right. And once you reach the other side, you want to head all the way down and push A on this section. Now, if you press right bumper, it will show you a map. However, it's fairly straightforward to navigate. From this door here, we want to make our way to the left. And you'll see these people that sat on the floor with their hands over their ears saying, "I can hear them growing." I believe that they're linked to a collectible. You want to enter the bar and you'll see this guy kind of unconscious on the floor, and the guy at the top here will give you a bit of a clue around about kind of what's going on and where your husband might be. Speak to the guy on the floor and he'll give you an indication that it's to the hospital, but he's not being coherent enough, so we need to help him out. So exit the door. And then we want to head to the left here, and using this zebra crossing, which is an indication you can go into a new area, go into the morgue zone. And then from here we want to make our way to the left, and you'll see a guy outside smoking a cigarette. Have a quick chat with him to unlock your next achievement. So once you're done talking to Morgue Man, we want to exit through the bottom. And we're going to be on the main high street. Now we want to start making our way to the left, and we're going to go to the hospital. As you're coming down here, you're going to see another guy sat on the floor with his kind of hands on his head. You want to talk to him, and he's going to talk about things growing. And then you want to make your way into the hospital, which is in the back just here. You can use these signs on the walls to identify the building. Now in the top right hand corner, you're going to see a doctor smoking a cigarette inside a hospital, because as you do, you want to speak to them, and then you want to press X to open up your inventory, and you want to select the seeds, and he's going to give you something called the cure, which we're going to use to wake up the guy who is passed out on the floor in the bar. Exit the hospital, and then we want to start making our way to the left, and that's going to put us back on the street with the bar. Now that we're back on this street, we want to make our way over to the left. There's two more people kind of holding onto their heads. So talk to the first one, he's just in the middle of the group, and then the guy in the far left hand corner. And you want to make our way back to the bar from here. Now as you're coming back from the bar, you're going to see a cup on the floor. You can pick this up if you want. It doesn't do much at this time, however. Now keep making your way across to the bar, and we want to go back inside, and we're going to talk to our drunk friend on the floor. So once we're with the drunk person, now I'm kind of a bit out of line here, but you want to push X on the guy, and then you want to select the cure from the inventory. This is going to wake him up, and he's going to give you a bottle of sleeping pills. Have a quick chat with him also, and he'll reveal a bit more information about Peter. So have a quick chat with him and just run the conversation through, just so you get a bit of an idea of where he went. Now you want to exit out of the building. And then from here, we want to make our way to the left, and we want to go back to the morgue. When you're at the morgue, keep going further to the left. We will go past our smoking friend, and we want to exit to the bottom zebra crossing. And then we want to start making our way across to the right. There's a couple of guys doing a spot of graffiti on the wall along the way. But this time around, we're going to go to the police station. So it is this building just here. As you walk up, it will say police on the outside. Press A to go in. And we want to make our way down to the right hand side, and we're going to talk to the person on reception and the police officer, and they're going to file a report for the dead body and talk to you about Peter. So one thing I don't really understand here is why you've got a guy wearing a balaclava in the police reception. Anyway, talk to the police officer that's sat on the floor twitching away. And we want to head our way over to the left, and we're going to go over to the administration building to get ourselves a cup. This cup can be sold later on in the game for a decent amount of money to help you progress forward. So exit the building, and then we want to make our way just a little bit to the left to the administration building. Like all of the other buildings, you can use the sign out the front to identify if you're outside the right one. You're going to head on in. Make your way down to the left, and you are going to find a cup kind of in a very strange circle shape on the wall. Grab it, and you'll see that you've got two cups now, and they can be sold later. And now we want to exit out of this area, so make our way to the right, and we'll sell those cups in a later chapter. Exit out of the door, and we're going to start making our way to home again. So head down to the zebra crossing, click A on the morgue to move through. Make your way to the far right hand side and exit out the right. When you're on the next street, you want to keep making your way to the right, and as you're kind of going along, you'll see this door with an eyelid closed above it. This is a place called Sleep. This is where your home is. Enter that door, and then when you're in Sleep, you want to make your way around to the left hand side, so head up. Walk over to the left, and then you want to make your way down past the guys with the monobrows, and you want to exit out the bottom. And then you'll see Martha, your good old friend, sat on the bench. It's a shame about your jam selling business. And you want to go back into your house, and then you want to make your way to the left. There'll be a police officer that's investigating the dead body outside. But you want to head to the left, and you're going to walk through this kind of little bit of a strange sequence with all these gravestones everywhere. And eventually you're going to come across your bedroom door. You're not in your house as it would normally be. It does sort itself out later. I walk a little bit too far here. Enter the bedroom. Head over to the bed, and then you want to push X, and you want to select the sleeping pills to crash out and head over to day 2. And there's an achievement for starting day 2. Alright, so now for day 2. This is a fairly straightforward one. Your house has been burgled. Oh no, we need to go figure out what's happened. So exit the room via the left. And you want to make your way over to the left just a little bit, and you're going to see a piggy bank. This is where you got all your life savings. We're going to need to break into this one in a short while. So keep going to the right, and we're going to exit back out to the main street where our pal Martha was hanging out. Now that you're on the main street, keep making your way to the left, and in the bottom left-hand corner, Martha also gives you a tip about where Peter went. Make your way to the bottom left-hand corner, and you want to exit out, and you're going to be back in the sleep kind of village. You want to make your way up to the very top, and you want to exit out of the door at the very top. And this is going to put you with a place guy who wants to buy some antiques. When you chat to this fella, he's going to give you an indication that there is something he wants you to go get from the library. And he mentions the guy that's actually on the far left-hand side about selling you a car key. Exit via the top left-hand corner. And once we're on the street, we're going to start making our way down to the left, getting stuck on invisible walls as we're going along the way. So keep making your way down, and eventually we're going to come across a library, which is just here. Now outside is another guy grabbing his ears. Have a quick chat with him, and he'll talk about he can hear them growing. And then this is the library just here. We want to enter this one, and then we want to use the lift door at the back, next to the big hulking guy who seems to be naked. Take the lift to the top and make your way all the way down to the end, and you're going to find the book that the antiques shopkeeper was asking for. Now that we have the book, we want to make our way back to the left, and our big burly friend who is downstairs sleeping naked is kicking it here. Just ignore him, and you want to head down in the lift back to the main street. So exit out of the library. Okay, so now we're back on the street. We want to make our way to the right across to the first zebra crossing. And we're going to put ourselves back on the street with the hospital. So head to the right, it's the first zebra crossing. Push A when you get there. And once you're on that street, we're going to make our way to the far left. And we're going to find out that the hospital is on fire. Now before we do anything, if you didn't grab the cup earlier, now's a good time to go get it. So keep making your way to the left if you need the cup. If not, you want to just skip forward about 30 seconds. So outside of the building on your left is the cup. You want to pick that one up, and we're going to go back to the hospital. So the cups are going to be kind of a bit of a key to help you progress forward through the story and to buy some of the key items in the game. Now, to get inside the hospital, as you can see, it's on fire and it's no longer accessible. You'll see a new signpost that has appeared on the side just here. You want to head over to the signpost and push A on it, and you're going to be by the kind of backyard area of the hospital. Make your way to the left and enter the building, and it is going to be a fire axe in front of you. Everything is going to come falling down and stop you from getting out. But make your way down to the door, and you want to push X, and you want to use your fire axe to open the door, and then go through the door. And on the inside, you're going to be finding some dude who looks to be accountable for this issue. Have a quick chat with him, and he's going to tell you about wanting a car key. Make your way up to the top door, and we're going to go get him a car key. So, yep, he asks you to go meet him by the morgue first of all. So it's worth having a quick chat with him if you get the chance, whilst you're at the morgue, just to understand what he's doing this for. So he's outside, he's to the left. Have a quick chat with him. Now that you've done that, from the suspicious looking man, head down and back up the same zebra crossing that you entered through. And you want to make your way to the far right for as long as possible and exit on the right hand side when you can. Once you've entered the next area, keep making your way to the right, and we're going to start making our way towards the antiques guy from earlier. We want to head into a place called Sleep. So as you come across the first zebra crossing, make your way down. It'll be the guy shouting about antiques that you walked past earlier. Ignore him for the time being and head down to the door in the bottom right hand corner. And then you want to head further down and exit at the bottom to get back to your house. And this time around, we are going to smash open our piggy bank and get some of that dollar. So head into the house and make your way to the far left hand side and you will find the piggy bank. And when you reach that piggy bank, press the X button and then you want to use the axe, smash. You'll pick yourself up about $100, I think, or whatever it is in the Ukraine. Make your way to the right and we want to exit back out into the main street again, and we're going to go up into Sleep and speak to the antiques dealer. Okay, so once you're in the Sleep area, make your way upwards through the next door. And the antiques guy is going to be twitching his head around and shouting for antiques. You want to head over to him, you want to push X, and he is interested in the book. So you want to give him the book and he'll give you some money for that, approximately 100. And then we also want to give him the cups. So push A on him and you will sell the cups that you've got. And he's going to give you 100 for each cup. Once you've got the money off of him, you want to speak to the guy on the far left hand side. You want to press X and then you want to give him some of the money, and he's going to give you the key that you need to give to the young man who wishes to have a car. Exit via the top left, and then you're going to make your way to the left to the next zebra crossing, and you want to go down. In the next area, you want to keep making your way to the left until you hit the zebra crossing on the bottom of the screen. That will allow you to go to the morgue. Now that you're at the morgue, head over to the guy in the top left hand corner, the suspicious looking chap. Push X on him and then you want to give him the key, and he'll open a door in the top right hand corner just out of nowhere. You want to enter that one and you're going to enter the building, and you'll see in the foreground Peter. You want to keep making your way to the right, however. I don't think Vasilis can see him. Keep walking to the right and eventually you're going to find yourself in a sticky situation where you're going to get arrested, and you'll also bag yourself an achievement for completing day number 2. Okay then, now that you are in day 3, you just need to head to the left and enter this door. There's going to be a bit of a cutscene play out where you're getting beat on. So yeah, it takes a few minutes, but when the cutscene's over, you'll be back in control and the room will be on fire. You just keep walking to the left until you are out of the building. So now that we're outside, you'll see this dude pointing. The guy with the monobrow now makes a regular appearance. We want to make our way over to the right, and he's going to point us in the direction of the uprising, I will say, in this sense. So exit to the right, and you're going to keep walking down the street following the guys that are pointing you in the right direction. So the same guy with the same monobrow is going to keep telling you where to go. Keep following him until you reach the very end, and we're going to go pick up a achievement and something called a lotto. So as you come up to the end of this area, you're going to see a guy outside with his arm, what looks to be in a bandage, and there's a dollar outside. You want to head into the gas station, and you want to make your way down to the left, and you're going to see loads of these guys with these broken arms all lined up. And on this kind of bed-like thing here, there's something called a lotto. You want to pick this one up, and you want to make your way back to the right, and we're going to bag ourselves the next achievement, which is for finding one of the chaos towers in the game. These seem to appear gradually as you go throughout the different days. So exit out, and we want to go to the right. You can pick this achievement up later, however we're just going to grab it now because we are here. So exit to the right, keep making your way over to the right, and you'll see this very big tall tower here. Just stand out in front of it, and you'll get a little pop-up on the screen that says Northeast Tower, and the achievement will pop if you've seen that one. Now we want to exit back to the street that we were just on via the zebra crossing, and we're going to start making our way to the left, and we need to backtrack to the police station where we just escaped from. Okay, so the road back to the hospital is just by the first monobrow guy next to the district of repair. You want to make your way a little bit further to the left past the first zebra crossing, and then there's the second one along the way. You want to head down into that avenue. You'll be back by the first guy that you meet outside the burning police station. Keep making your way to the left, and when you get to the zebra crossing at the bottom, you want to make your way into the morgue. Okay, so now that you're in the morgue area, exit out to the right-hand side where this pop-up bar seems to have now been put into place. Make your way to the right, you want to exit out, and you're going to go into the bar again. So you enter the bar, and we're going to go speak to the barkeep, and we're going to give him a bit of money so we can get ourselves some beer. So press X on the guy, give him some cash, he's going to give you back a bottle of beer, which is going to be helpful in a very short while. You want to exit out of the bar, and we're going to go across now to the factory, and we're going to go pick up something called a uniform. So next to the sleep entrance, you will see a place with a cog above it. We want to enter that building there, and in the moment you get in, you're going to see a suit on the wall. You want to pick up that suit, and then turn around, and we want to exit back out, and we're going to go usher the people by the bar to go join the uprising. So make your way to the left and go back into the morgue area. Once we're in the morgue area, we need to start ushering people out. So we want to talk to somebody, and he says, "My lotto is gone," the guy at the bottom. Press X on him, and you want to give the lotto that you picked up from the gas station earlier, and he will leave. When you give that, he also changes his hairstyle in the middle of that process. Now you've done that, you want to go speak to the guys at the top table, speak to them both, and they will disappear along with their table. Speak to the second guy, and he'll also move on. And then when you head over to the next guy, he is going to turn around and say, "I wish you brought some beer." So press X on him, give him the beer, and he will leave. Speak to his pal, and he'll also move on too. And then speak to the guy that's just to the left, he'll also move on. He requires the uniform. You want to push X on this guy, give him the uniform you just picked up, and he'll leave. And then speak to his friend at the top, and he'll also disappear. The morgue guy will stay, however. Now, these guys have gone to join the uprising, so we need to follow along with them. So head down the bottom and exit out of the morgue onto the main street. Once you've done that, you want to start heading to the far right hand side, and we want to exit out of the right of the area. And now that we're in this area, you want to keep making your way right, and you want to keep going until you get back to the tower that we were at just a moment ago, and this is going to end day number 3. Okay, so now that you're at the end, keep going past the gas station, don't walk into it like I do. Exit out to the right, walk over to the tower, and then you're going to bag yourself an achievement for finishing day number 3 and starting day number 4. It gives you 2 more days to go now. Okay, so day for number 4 for me was a very quick day to actually pass through. You want to make your way to your left, and we're going to go start picking up some body parts that are just laying about the place. So make your way to the left, and we want to keep walking down until you reach the area with the signpost in the background. You want to head up into a place called Southeast Avenue, and you want to make your way to the left, and eventually you're going to see this building with lots of hands and cogs and stuff just kind of hanging off the wall. You want to make your way into that door for this building, and we're going to kind of go into a warehouse-like area. Now we're going to a little bit of a puzzle. So if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see the hand in a box between some cogs. And you want to switch these valves on to rotate the cogs and move the hand through them. Now, once you get the hand kind of into a position like I have, so switch on switch 1, and eventually it will slide down into this gap. Switch on switch 3, and eventually it will fall to the floor. Once it's fallen to the floor, you want to pick that up. Yeah, that is actually one of your husband's body parts. For some strange reason, you're going about collecting them. Now that you've got this, we want to make our way to the right, and we're going to go find his other body parts. So head to the right and exit out back to the South Street area. So the next body part we're going to go after is his eye. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but they seem to get a strange thing for body parts as we get later on in the game. So make your way to the right past this kind of squirrel bar, and you want to head up into the next section. So we're going to be back by the gas station, and this time we're going to make our way to the left, and we're going to come across the like the antiques guy again, but he's got some kind of locker system on the go here where there are body parts contained. So when you talk to him, he tells you about going to see his brother to get the key card. Okay, so to get our hands on the key card, we need to keep making our way to the left. We want to go past this district on repair, and we're going to come up to a place called Sleep. We want to enter Sleep, and it is the guy with his face scribbled out. So head over to him, push X on him, and you want to give him some money, and he's going to give you the key card in return. Make your way back to the guy who was selling the lockers and stuff. If you don't have enough money as well, this guy, and you have the cups, you can sell the cups to the guy here to also resolve that issue. So start making your way to the right, and just to the right of the antiques guy, you're going to see this door 1111 that is lit up. You want to make your way over to it, press X and use the key card, and in return you're going to get your husband's eye. And then we're going to go after the next body parts, because that's what we seem to be liking to do at the minute right now. We are going after the next eye, and the next eye is contained within the library. So the library is on the same street. We just need to keep making our way down to the left until we reach it. It is the last building on the very end. It's going to take you a few minutes to walk down there. Yeah, it's this place with more eye graffiti out of the front. Head on in, and you want to use the lift to take it up a floor. Similar to where we found the book earlier, the eye is just in the corridor. Once you've got that, exit back to the street. And now we're going to go after the next body part, which is his other hand. So exit the library, head to the right, and eventually you're going to get the opportunity to go into the hospital. So once you reach the zebra crossing here, push the A button and you want to go down. And we want to start making our way to the left. Now, before we go into the morgue area, we're going to just go off the path a little bit here. At the top, you'll see a sign that has newly appeared. Click on this one and you're going to find another one of the growing pain people. Have a quick chat with them to make sure that you've ticked this individual off the box. Exit back out of the area, and then from here you just want to kind of head left and down, and we're going to go into the morgue section at the next zebra crossing. And now that you're at the morgue building, head up in. And we want to make our way to the right, and we're going to go have a very strange experience with the receptionist that opens their mouth too wide. Press X, and then you want to select some money, and they will give you in return his left hand. So now we have both his eyes and both his hands, and the person will close their mouth. Enter the room next to the receptionist, and you're going to find Peter strung up. You want to push X on him, and you want to select his right arm, his eye, his other eye, and his other hand, and then the whole place is going to catch fire, and you're going to have to endure a cutscene, and you will get yourselves a set of achievements at this point. You get the achievement for meeting Peter, you get the achievement for completing day 4, and then you also get the achievement for getting into the Squirrel bar. Okay, so once you're done popping your achievements, it's time to get on with day number 5. And this day is a little bit more trickier, as well as this day 6. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to grab the alcohol that is off the bar just above you. Now that you have the alcohol, we want to exit out of the bar. So keep making your way to the right. You'll also notice the squirrels blink on the wall. Exit out to the right, and we want to start making our way over to the left. And at the bottom of this screen there is a zebra crossing. Doesn't look like you can go through it, but actually you can. Push A on this one and you're going to find a person sat on the floor. You want to have a quick chat with this one, and you'll also bag yourself the achievement Growing Towers for 50G. This is for talking all to the people that are covering their ears and complaining about things growing and how they can hear it. Once you've got that, we want to start making our way to the left, and we want to exit out at the top section just here. And then you want to keep making your way to the left, and we're going to go back into the place that had cogs and hands. As you can see now, though, however, the cogs and the hands are no longer all over the building. Enter this place, and there's a guy on the inside. You want to give him the beer, and he will give you a key in return. Alright, now that we have this key, we want to get progressing further with the story, of course. So start making your way to the left, and we are going to start going over to the factory areas. Now, that key the guy has just given you will open up that door, but we're going to give that a miss just for the moment in time, because we can pick up some more achievements right now. So make your way to the left, and you want to head into South Avenue. And once you're over at South Avenue, we can make our way even more to the left. But you'll see the kind of newly opened up area at the bottom just here that you haven't been able to get into before. So make your way down to that zebra crossing, and we're going to enter into an area where there is another tower. Make your way to the right over to the tower, and you'll get yourself another achievement once you're informed you're outside of it. So you bag yourself another 50G, and we want to go get the next tower, which is in the cemetery. So keep making your way to the far left as possible until you can exit out of this area. And now that you're in the cemetery, we want to keep going to the left, and eventually you'll come across the next tower. Once it informs you on the screen that you are there, you will bag yourself the next Chaos Tower achievement. Once you've done that, make your way back to the right, and we're going to exit out of this area. Okay, now I have to apologise here. We do a little bit of a backtrack with something we could have caught earlier, but for some reason I must have blanked that during reading my notes for this. So start making your way to the right. We want to go past the bar, and we want to go back into the factory area where we were just a second ago. So keep making your way to the right, and when you reach the zebra crossing, you want to head down. And we're going to talk to a couple of the folks outside who are going to trigger a sequence of events where a truck will appear and a guy in the bar will appear. So enter this area, and there are two guys that are sat out of the side of the main the main office building. Speak to the two guys on the left, and they will give you a tip-off about there being a truck that can be used. Once you've done that, you want to go back to the right and you want to exit out, and we're going to make our way over to the bar. So once you're back onto the street, head to the left, and we want to go into the bar. And now that we're in the bar, we want to talk to the guy that is just on the table on his own. He's going to give you a key for a broken down cement mixer kind of thing. I don't think it's broken down, it's just not very reliable. Exit the bar. Now, before we go and do that, we are going to go get ourselves our next achievement for the game. So start making your way to the right. You want to go past the sleep area, we want to go past the factories, and we want to go onto the next main street. So now that we are on South Avenue, make your way to the right, and this first door that is blacked out, you want to push X, and you want to select the normal key, not the car key. And you want to enter this room just here. There's a group of guys in here, just ignore them, and you want to go through to the next area. And when you're in the next area, you want to make your way to the far left as possible, because we are going to meet more of the monobrow people. And now that you're in this area full of the same guy over and over and again, you can talk to him, and they briefly mention some of the stuff about the uprising. And there's one guy pointing at the door at the end. You want to enter this door, and you're going to come across a group called the Cult. Speak to the lady that looks like Eric Cartman, and you'll bag yourself the achievement Cult. So yeah, these guys are going to help you out later on. Now you want to exit via the bottom left-hand corner. And as you exit, you want to keep making your way down, and you want to keep staying to the right. And you'll see that there's a new area open with the footprints on the floor. And you're actually going to come out next to Sleep and the Factory. Make your way over to the far left until you reach a very large cement mixer. Now that you're close to this one, you want to head over and you want to push the X button on it. And you want to select the key. And that's going to trigger a cutscene where you cause even more chaos. Okay, so if you've been following along, we are now on the 6th day. We are in our last big push to get through the game. We are getting nearly to the full 1000G. You'll start off in the factory where you were earlier, and you just need to exit out at the bottom left-hand corner. And one of the good things now is everything is now open to you. You can pretty much take any path you choose to get to one area. I think I chose the most optimal path. Maybe I didn't. Exit via the top. Now ignore the feet that are on the screen. We are going to go about getting some things collected that we are going to need to progress forward. So we need to make our way over to the morgue first of all. So head to the left of the bar and use the zebra crossing next to it. And you're going to see this kind of very strange, obnoxious kind of pulsing thing coming off the morgue. We just need to ignore that for the time being. We will come back to that and address it later. Enter the morgue. And as we come in, we want to enter the door where we found Peter. And we want to pick up some meat that is on the floor in here. Hopefully it's not linked to Peter. Exit out of the door and exit out of the morgue. Now that is done, exit out the south of the area. And we're going to be faced with some more of these large pulses kind of coming in. They are significant to a piece of the end game puzzle. We will address that later. But from this point onwards, we want to start making our way across to the right. And we're going to go after some more limbs for progression in the story. So exits from the right area. And we're also going to get ourselves our next achievement too. Start making your way to the left and we want to go across to the library. The library has also one of these things pulsing off of it. We want to go inside the library at this point. Once you're inside, you just need to pick up the leg in a case off of the floor. Yet another body limb for you to carry around. What has Grandma been up to? Exit via the bottom left and keep making your way to the far left and you're going to get the achievement for finding the next Chaos Tower. Now that we have this achievement, we need to start making our way back to our actual house. So start heading to the right and make your way past the library again. And we're going to head home for this point. So the exit to get back to home. So as we go past the library, we want to head on to the first zebra crossing, taking us to the street with the hospital. And then we want to start making our way left and we want to go into the morgue area. And then from the morgue area we want to exit to the right. So head left to the morgue. And then we need to exit right at the morgue. And we're going to come back out by the bar. So keep making your way past the strange pulsey thing. Exit to the right. You'll be by the bar. Be by the bar. Keep making your way to the right and enter sleep. And now that we're in the sleep area, we are going to have a quick chat with the people in the queue at the top here that are queuing from some milk. You talk to the first person, he'll tell you about your neighbour. The second person is after some meat, so press X and give them the meat and they will disappear. And then you want to talk to the two people holding onto the bags and then they will also disappear. Make your way down to the bottom left hand corner and then we are back outside our house. We want to make our way to the right and we want to enter our house and you're going to find a newly opened door-ish kind of thing here. Press A on that door and you will get teleported in and you want to start making your way to the right and you're going to encounter a guy with a false leg and you want to speak to him. And this is your neighbour. You'll bag yourself an achievement for also meeting your neighbour at this time. And you've also got his leg, which you probably want to give to him. So press the X button, select the leg, and he will give you a skeleton key. Once you've got that key, we want to make our way to the left, and we're going to head back into the sleep area to go get ourselves a carton of milk. So exit to the left and get out of your house. And make your way back into the sleep area. Okay, so now that we are in the sleep area, we want to make our way up to the top right and you want to speak to the tall person with the child. And because you've spoken to your neighbour, they will disappear. And now a very large carton of milk appears on the back of this tanker. Pick it up. And then you want to exit out via the bottom right hand corner and we'll be back in the sleep area. Now we are going to start making our way over to the cemetery again. So head left past the bar. Keep making your way to the left until you reach the cemetery zebra crossing. And you want to enter into this area. And now that you're in the cemetery, keep making your way to the left. Walk into some grates as you're going down. But keep making your way to the left past the tower that you saw earlier on. And we're going to use the skeleton key on the little kind of strange church-like thing at the end. And we're going to go and get ourselves some crosses to cause some disruption with. So you'll know when you're in the right place because it's the door with the weird key picture. Use the key on the crypt, and when you're in the area, you need to go to the door on your right. Once you've gone through that door, you're going to find yourselves in an area with lots of crosses. Pick up the first cross, but you will pick up all three in the process. And exit to the right. And then back out into the cemetery. And once you're back in the cemetery, exit out via the right. And we're going to start making our way back to the morgue. As a quick reminder, if you haven't now kind of memorized the map, the morgue is just to the left of the bar. And now we're going to address this obnoxious kind of flashing thing that's going on here. So start making your way to the left towards this kind of strange pulse. And as you walk up to it, press X and you want to go into your inventory and you want to pick a cross, and that will switch it off, and it will also tell you about how long you're alive and when you're going to die. Exit through the bottom. And then we're going to be back by another pulsing kind of thing. You want to make your way over to this cross, and you want to press X, and you want to use the cross on it to get Peter's life and death information. Now you want to make your way to the far right, and once you reach the far end, you want to exit out. Now that you're in this area, we want to start making our way across the left. You'll see a bunch of military guys around. And we're back outside the library. You want to use another cross in the library, and that's going to get rid of that pulse too. Now we're going to start making our way to the right. I'm not sure who the churn guy is that they mention. But keep going to the right, and eventually you are going to come across a guy outside a building, and the building is closed. This is this one just here. And you want to give this guy the milk that you picked up earlier, and he is going to open that door. We don't need to go in there just yet, so exit down the bottom to the wasteland. And when you're in this wasteland area, we want to head down. For some reason, I decided to head back up again. Don't copy me. Exit down, and you want to make your way down to the bottom of this piece. Exit through, and then you want to head up. You can see an even bigger pulse thing going on now. And you want to talk to this guy with a balaclava on at the back, and he is going to give you somebody's heart in a glass container. Lovely. And then you want to exit down. You want to exit out via the left. And you want to make your way up. And you want to exit out of this area. And then you want to enter the building that was just opened by the guy on your left here. Enter this one. And then you're going to see the cult people. So Eric Cartman has been up to some criminal stuff again. Make your way to the right. And you want to press X on the guy hanging up on the wall. And you want to give him back his heart. This will open up the door behind you. You want to go through that door, and this is going to get yourself the achievement once you walk to the end of this area for beating the game. Now, at the end of the game, you kind of just need to keep walking through the red zone until you reach up with Peter. So, yeah, walk to the right, enter this door, and then walk downwards as far as possible. And then we're going to go get the last two remaining achievements. So you get one here for beating the game. And the next one we're going to go get is the Time Traveller and the one for finding the secret room. So make your way down to the bottom until you reach Peter, and you'll be brought back to the main menu. Okay, so now you're on the main menu, you'll see that there's a new mode called Time Traveler mode, and that's going to allow you to jump between the different days in the game. So make sure that is switched on, and you want to head back up and you want to click continue. This is going to spawn you back in on the 6th day, which is good because that's where we want to start. And you'll be back outside the hospital, or at least that's where I was. It may not be the case for you. But now if you click in on the left stick or the right stick, you'll be able to change the days. We don't want to do that just yet, however. So we want to make our way to the far right and exit out of that side. Once you're out of the far side, we also need to do the same thing again. Keep going to the right until you get to the far side. So keep walking down past the gas station, past the area where the guy had his heart ripped out. Just keep going to the right until you're back at one of the towers. Now that we are back at one of the tower areas, we want to make our way to the left. So we're going to need a bit of a backtrack to one of the areas we're in. However, the secret room wasn't open at this point in time. So go past the Squirrel bar, keep walking to the left, and you'll know when you're getting near the secret room because you'll see the pulse coming off of the zebra crossing. Press A to enter that area. Now before you do anything else, click in on the left stick and you want to take yourself all the way back to day 1, and this will bag yourself the achievement called Time Traveler. And when you're back on day 1, you'll bag yourself the Time Traveler achievement. And to get the final achievement of the game, you want to make your way through the top and you'll enter this area here. And that is it. That is the full 1000G. I have been Drastic here from the Achievement Squad. If you find this guide useful, drop us a like, comment, subscribe, and happy hunting.